Welcome to today's tutorial on SAP HANA Express edition on Azure. We are going to be starting out with a preset configured system, and these are the steps that we'll be following. You need to first create a virtual machine, connect to the machine, start an HANA Express edition installation steps, and finally we'll see how we can log into the new system with the password that we set during the configuration process. Okay, so let's get started with the first step on how we can create a virtual machine, for which we log in into the Azure Portal. So I'm now logged into the portal.azure.com homepage, and here I'm going to be clicking and here I have typed SAP, and it gives me a following options of Developer Edition, Express Edition, Business Objects, etc. The one that I'm interested in to install today is HANA Express Edition. So let's see what it offers. So in here it's a preset configuration that you can start with, and you can select either the server plus application or just the server. But if you are looking to deploy some applications, you will need both server plus application. So let's start with the Express Edition server plus app and start with a preset configuration. Now it automatically selects the general as well as the general purpose D series workload type. So based on these selections, let's go ahead and create the virtual machine. So this next steps will allow you to create the virtual machine based on these parameters. So the first is the subscription. You can choose whatever subscription you have in mind. So you can select the subscription value here on the first field. For resource group, you either use an existing one or you create a new one. I'm going to create a new resource group which will be SAP HANA Express 01. Then you can add the virtual machine name. There's some guidelines on how it should be, so I'm adding SAP HANA Express 01 as my name as well. You can select the region which you want, and there are a couple of different options here that you can select. I'm selecting Central US. It is cheaper than most of the locations. You can also choose East US. I think there's some kind of a price difference, not so sure, so you can explore and see which is offering you a lower price, and you can select that. Express Edition Server Plus application was already selected by the image that I copied from, and in terms of size, it is recommended that we have 16 gigs. I've selected all family and I'm sorting it by RAM, so I know what the 16 GB RAM looks like. So here are my different options, which is the general purpose, memory optimized, etc. So the one in which I have the lowest price is what I'm going to be selecting, which is 2 CPU, 16 GB RAM and 4 disks. Okay, after selecting this, let me just go ahead and select it. It now comes up here as an administrator for account. I will try to enter it by username and password. So you can enter any username of your choice and a password of your choice. I have selected the password and the username. Let's go to the next screen, which is disk. So we have these many tabs that we need to complete before we have our virtual machine ready. So again, premium is recommended for general workloads, but you can also use standard. And in advanced, I have not really selected any options, so I'm just going to say use manage disk. Yes. If you select no, then there are multiple other options that you probably need information on, but I think just for the default one, you can just go ahead and select whatever was available to you by default. In the next tab, which is networking, you can now select options like network security group. If you want to create something specific or you already have an existing one, you can select that from the drop down as well. But in my case, I'm just going to leave it like that as default. Let's go to the management tab now. In the management tab, it asks me for more information on storage account, etc. And if you want to enable auto shutdown, which I don't want, so I will switch it, I'll make it as off here, and go to the next tab, which is Advanced. In Advanced, you can again enter a couple of more information like what are your extension, host and VM generation, and then move to the tags finally. Tags is generally needed if you have a couple of accounts that you're running already on Azure and you want to categorize them based on the cost or based on specific values that you want to report on. So then it makes sense to add tag, but since this is just one of my demo machines that I'm going to be preparing, so I'm just going to leave it as blank here and click on Review and Create. Now it will give you a summary of all the options that we've been selected as well as the price. And just verify all the information that you've populated is correct, and then you can click on Create. It comes to the next screen now and initializes the deployment. There is an option called Download a template for automation. You can also select that if you are interested to follow these steps automatically next time. So based on the file that you have from the template, you can upload it and you can skip all these steps and it will go straight to the deployment process as you see here. Okay, so it will take a couple of minutes for it to start the deployment process and finally finish it. When you have the message which says your deployment is completed, then we'll come back again. So wait for a couple of minutes to finish this process. So in this screen we can see that the deployment is now complete. You can go to the button Go to Resource, and you will see that you've got a public IP address that can be used to connect to the virtual machine. Now we need to add this entry on the host file, so let's do that. So we will now maintain a host entry with the same IP address as you see here in the host file. This will help you to connect to the virtual machine. So let us do that. Remember that this is operating system is Linux, so we'll be connecting it via PuTTY. So now I've entered the same IP address in PuTTY. After I maintain the entry in the host file, you will get a pop-up which asks you about the server is the computer that you think it is, so you click on yes. Now let's log in as HXCADM and the password will be HXC HANA 1. It will ask you again for the Unix password, which is HXC all capital HANA 1, and your new password and another one. After that it will ask you to set up the HANA database master password. You can keep all the passwords same for the sake of ease. So after you've confirmed these two passwords, it will ask you to use the proxy server or not. In my case I'm not using, so I will just enter no. Wait for XSA configuration to finish. Well, I would like to wait, so I would say yes, which is why. Proceed with the configuration, answer it with Y, and thus it will start the service and start the installation process for Express HANA. It keeps on running and adding different services, and it will take probably 15 to 20 minutes or maybe more depending upon the size and capacity of the machine on which you are running, and it will finally give you a message, success message, that Express HANA is installed. So I will pause the screen here and come back once the installation process is finished. So after a couple of minutes you will notice that HANA Express Edition has been installed, and the last message that you should get on your screen will be congratulations, HANA Express Edition 2.0 is configured. So let's see how we can now access the system. Once you've got that message, you should log in into HXC host 53075, and then you should get something similar like here. Your connection is not private. Click on Advanced and proceed. There are standard users that you can log in with, the first one being XSA admin, and the password will be the same password which you have set for your user during configuration. So it will load Web IDE for SAP HANA, and this is the tool where you can get started with the development. So you can refer to the tips and tricks section, which opens up and helps you understand what you can do with this tool. I'm closing it, but you can just start to do your programming here. Follow the link Developers Tutorial Navigator here on SAP Portal, and you will find a list of tutorials that you can go through. Alright, I hope this was helpful. So in this screen, we can see that the deployment is now complete. You can go to the button, go to resource, and you will see that you've got a public IP address that can be used to connect to the virtual machine. Now we need to add this entry on the host file, so let's do that. So we will now maintain a host entry with the same IP address as you see here in the host file. This will help you to connect to the virtual machine. So let us do that. Remember that this is operating system is Linux, so we'll be connecting it via PuTTY. So now I've entered the same IP address in PuTTY. After I maintain the entry in the host file, you will get a pop-up which asks you about the server is the computer that you think it is, so you click on yes. Now let's log in as HXCADM, and the password will be HXC HANA 1. It will ask you again for the Unix password, which is HXC all capital HANA 1, and your new password, and another one. After that, it will ask you to set up the HANA database master password. You can keep all the passwords same for the sake of ease. So after you've confirmed these two passwords, it will ask you to use the proxy server or not. In my case, I'm not using, so I will just enter no. Wait for XSA configuration to finish. Well, I would like to wait, so I will say yes, which is why. Proceed with the configuration, answer it with Y, and thus it will start the service and start the installation process for Express HANA. It keeps on running and adding different services, and it will take probably 15 to 20 minutes or maybe more, depending upon the size and capacity of the machine on which you are running. And it will finally give you a success message that Express HANA is installed. So I will pause the screen here and come back once the installation process is finished. So you should see a message like this, which tells you that congratulations, HANA Express edition is configured, which is the last step on the screen. So after a couple of minutes, you will notice that HANA Express edition has been installed, and the last message that you should get on your screen will be congratulations, HANA Express edition 2.0 is configured. So let's see how we can now access the system. So once you've got that message, you should log in into HXC. Once you've got the message, you should log in into HXC host 53075, which is fake. Once you've got that message, you should log in into HXC host 53075, and then you should get something similar like here. Your connection is not private. Click on advance and proceed. There are standard users that you can log in with, the first one being XSA admin, and the password will be the same password which you have set for your user during configuration. So it will load Web IDE for SAP HANA. And this is the tool where you can get started with the development. So you can refer to the tips and tricks section, which opens up and helps you understand what you can do with this tool. I'm closing it, but you can just start to do your programming here. Follow the link Developers Tutorial Navigator here on SAP Portal, and you will find a list of tutorials that you can go through. Alright, I hope this was helpful. Thank you for watching our videos. We would like to briefly describe about the SAP service offerings. We provide services across core ERP module R3, S4, ECC6 HANA, SAP B1 and SAP by Design. We have provided support across extended products like CRM, SRM, SCM, BI and BO, across multiple platform, technical components, NetWeaver components, worked on projects related to integration with third-party applications and custom applications via iDocs, PAPIs, XIPI and web services. We have got functional expertise across multiple modules like CRM, FICO, Treasury, SD, LES, CS, PS, etc. We worked across different domains for our clients related to healthcare, retail, high-tech, automobile, engineering, services, as well as energy and power sector. Also, to mention about our service landscape, we've worked on projects related to implementation rollouts, AMS and production support, version upgrades, business intelligence, value discovery workshops, independent testing and validation services. Visit our website to know more about our SAP service offerings. And for SAP values proposition for our clients looking for getting onboarded onto a new SAP system or to understand how SAP can help in running their businesses, we offer next generation enterprise resource planning solutions powered by NetWeaver and designed for all industry as well as sector types. We can help you understand how you can use SAP, which is the best in class software, to map to your business requirements and optimize your business by using SAP as one of their products for both supporting backend and frontend. We've got industry-specific documentation, pre-configured systems, settings, and master data that you can help leverage how you can use SAP systems. We provide deep industry knowledge with 3+ years in business and having completed 100+ projects. We've also got certified consultants who can help you assess what your requirement is and accordingly provide a solution. We focus on value creation and risk reduction with delivery excellence, as we are an ISO certified organization. And let us know how we could fulfill your business requirement. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Follow Peritos Solutions for more great content. You can contact us on info@peritosolutions.com. Follow us on Peritos Solutions, LinkedIn, Facebook and Twitter handles. Please do remember to leave us some feedback and comments which can help us to improve. Thanks again for watching.